The Bernabéu hummed with the usual mix of expectation and superstition, but when Franco Mastantuono slipped onto the turf against Osasuna, the air changed. What had started as a routine opening day at Real Madrid suddenly felt like the first page of a new chapter. In his scarcely 20 minutes, the Argentine moved like someone who had been rehearsing this moment for years. First, a quick turn that opened a lane, then a split-second pass that asked a question of the defence and demanded an answer. Those handful of touches were compact declarations. Speed of thought, fearlessness under pressure, and a comfort on the ball that made teammates and supporters sit up and take notice. The club's official match notes confirmed the debut and the win, but the detail that mattered to the stands was how a cameo could feel as loud as a full 90-minute statement. What makes the story more than a feel-good youth headline is context. This is Xabi Alonso's Madrid now, a coach who arrives with a clear philosophy and a reputation for building midfield brains as much as bodies. Alonso's appointment has reset expectations. He wants intelligence, rhythm, players who can read each other, and a new face who offers those traits changes the arithmetic of selection. Mastantuono's profile is not mere hype. Analysts and match reports flagged the youngster's introduction as an indicator that Alonso intends to mix seasoned pros with bright, hungry youth. That tactical tilt is thrilling on paper, but it also creates inevitable friction. When two players can occupy similar pockets, who gets the minutes when it matters most? Enter Arda Güler, the gifted Turk who has already had flashes of brilliance that convinced fans and pundits he could be a long-term fixture in the middle of the park. His story is complicated. He's young enough to still be finding constancy, but talented enough that coaches give him responsibility. Under Alonso's early stewardship, he has looked more composed, more prepared to accept a varied role. Pundits and regional press praised his performance in the opener, marking him as a player the coach trusts to adapt. Yet football's currency is minutes, and minutes are finite. A spark from the bench like Mastantuono's forces a recalculation. Will Guler's role be reshaped to play slightly deeper, to shuttle wider, or to cede time when a manager wants fresh, explosive creativity? The tension is not personal, it's tactical. But it will feel personal when starting berths and substitutions are decided. This is the delicate balancing act coaches dread and admire, to harness momentum without cannibalizing morale. Alonso's history suggests a willingness to trust young talent, while still managing the egos and expectations of a star-studded squad. His early comments about rhythm and improvement underline a long-term plan rather than panic swaps. Still, football fandom runs on immediacy. A player who scores or sings on his debut becomes part of the conversation for selection, social feeds and dressing room narratives alike. For Arda Güler, who has on occasion spoken candidly about the emotional weight of professional football, the sudden appearance of a high-potential rival could be an added pressure or a prompt to deepen his game. The human element, how a player processes competition, matters as much as tactical diagrams on a coach's board. So what should viewers watch for now? First, the next team sheets and early substitutions. If Mastantuono is given recurring late-game minutes, that signals a plan to ease him into responsibility. If he starts appearing earlier, or even in the 11, then Alonso is sending a louder message about integration. Second, how Arda's role is described by the coach in press conferences. Language about adaptation, continuity, or defined roles will tell us whether the plan is to protect a young talent or to shape him into a different tool. Third, the chemistry visible on the pitch. Which combinations make Madrid pulse? Because at the end of opening day, the bigger picture becomes clear only through repetition. Pattern over a season, not just one electric cameo. Real Madrid have always survived and thrived on tough conversations. Between youth and experience. Between individual brilliance and collective shape. Mastantuono's Bernabeu cameo did more than please the fans. It crystallized a choice for a coach with title ambitions and a squad full of hungry players. Whether this becomes a defining rivalry, a productive push that elevates both talents, or a brief footnote depends on minutes. Management and that fragile player psychology that turns competition into growth or fracture. For now, the memory of that late substitution will be replayed in highlight reels and locker room chats. And one question will keep returning each time the team sheet drops. Who will Xabi Alonso trust when the real tests start?